I'm literally going to cut all that out. Hey, you guys, welcome to the stream tonight. So all day I've been waiting for Todd Chrisley to drop a podcast. And he literally dropped it at like 8:30. I was editing a video and I was falling asleep while editing. And I was like, you know what? I'm falling asleep. Let me go see if Todd Chrisley has dropped his podcast. And he had. So we're going to listen to it. Now, this podcast, he is responding to Katie's claims that he spoke badly about her son. So last week, he did a podcast where basically all he said was he asked his wife, Julie, he said, if we had a child that was as sick as Katie's claims hers is, what would you do? And Julie said, I wouldn't leave my child's side. And Todd, he kind of explains this, I think in this podcast, from my understanding, he basically says, like, listen, I've gotten a ton of emails about her, messages about her. And, a lot of people claim that she lies about her, her son. So I think that's kind of where he was going with that, like, because he thinks she's probably lied about a lot of things. And he just asked Julie the question. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to listen to it. I so apologize for the delay, you guys. If it is still blurry, I'm so sorry. It's hit or miss. We are plugged directly into the Wi-Fi box. We're supposed to have the best Wi-Fi they offer here. I don't know. Yes, normally he drops his podcast on Wednesdays, but it wasn't dropped until today. But it was recorded like Monday or Tuesday because he mentioned the hearing. He mentioned the hearing saying like, oh, you will show up, Katie. Like the hearing is on. So obviously he recorded it Monday or Tuesday before she pulled her motion to dismiss and the hearing was canceled. So let's go ahead. Let's take a listen, you guys. All right.
Like that, last week's. Well, listen, at the end of the day, you make do with what you have to do with.
You're right.
And, and that's who we are. We make do with what we have to do with.
Yes.
We deal with what we have to deal with. I feel like that, last week's podcast got so much traction on social media. So I want to address just a couple of things, with that YouTuber.
Uh-huh.
The YouTuber seems to have gone off her rocker because she says that we attacked her child.
I haven't said anything about any of those.
No, I merely asked you a question. If your child was that ill, would you be doing your job? Would you be online being a blogger or whatever? And you said, I wouldn't leave my child's side. And you still stand by that.
Absolutely. That's not directed at any person. That is my own personal conviction that if I had a child who had health issues or needed, I would be there, yes, by their side morning, noon, and night.
And you wouldn't be inebriated when you were doing that?
I would not,
okay.
But that's me. Okay. That's me because I feel like that
well, you don't like
you don't have children. I don't understand these people that will go and just literally get like what do you call it, hammered. And you've got babies in the house that can fall, that would have to go to a hospital, that can get sick in the middle of the night. And the thoughts of something happening to one of my kids and me not being in this state of mind or being able to get in a car and get them the help they needed, I would never forgive myself.
Well, I agree. But this YouTuber, she tries to flip the script when
I love that he said that because that was also something that I addressed a while back when me and Katie was kind of doing our back and forth. Because Katie did a stream where she claimed she didn't drink. She literally did a stream saying, I don't drink. I don't get along with my neighbors. And the reason I don't get along with my neighbors is because they all drink. And me and Todd, we don't drink. We're not drinkers. And then literally it was so wild because all the time she was drinking, which I don't care. Drink. She's grown. Drink as much as she wants. Todd, drink if you want to. They are grown. I don't care if they smoke, drink. I don't care. Take a crap on your bed. Like, it ain't my business. But don't get on your stream and say, I don't crap on the bed knowing you crap on the bed. Or I don't drink knowing you drink. I don't smoke knowing you smoke. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't do that because then you just look like a liar. Like, she literally made multiple videos where she made the comments that she does not drink and that she don't have friends because she don't drink. And then she would literally drink all the time. So So you are right. Flossie literally never left Abe's side. The whole 2 weeks Abe was in the hospital, Flossie was there with him. She missed Thanksgiving to be by her son's side. Um, but I just, in one of my streams, I just made the comment like that she drinks and that she lied about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, she lies about drinking. And then she's like, oh my God, she made a big deal because I drink. So what? I'm grown. I can drink. And I'm like, yeah, you can. You can drink. Who cares? But don't get on stream and say you don't drink, that you don't have friends because you don't drink. Literally, when she said that, when I saw the clip of her saying she don't drink, I went and watched just a few of her videos, and I swear I got like 20 screenshots of her drinking, just in a few of her videos. And I'm like, see, this is just, me advice. Don't say something that is so easily that can be disproved. You know what I'm saying? Like, hello. Um, right. Don't hold yourself out as being holier than thou. So as she's pouring a glass of wine, I know I don't drink. Like, what? So anyways, I made the comment, about her drinking, and she's like, she's talking about the fact that I drink. So what? I'm grown. And her husband made comments as well. Around that time, her husband also called me a see you next Thursday, called me a bitch, and told me to go lay by my dog bowl or something to that. I don't know, something along those lines. And all I pointed out was that she lied because she drinks. And it wasn't about the fact that she does drink. Obviously, it was just that she lied or whatever. But that was also another point of mine is we would see her and her husband on streams drinking, and they would be on a 1 hour stream, and they would both drink multiple alcoholic beverages. Like, she would have 3 or 4, he would have 3 or 4. I don't even know. Probably, now maybe they weren't drunk, but probably over the legal limit. And she's taking her medication, her Adderall, right? And I think Todd takes Adderall as well. So anyways, that was something else that I pointed out. I was just like, what if something happens to like her poor baby? Like, what if something happens in the middle of the night, or like, what if they're on a stream, they're drinking, and something happens? Like, they're not going to be able to drive him to the hospital. They can call an ambulance, and an ambulance can come get him, and they can ride, but still they're going to kind of be out of, like, they're not going to be in their right mind. So when Todd brought that up tonight, I was like, he's getting more of the picture of who she is. You know what I'm saying? Because like, just hearing her talk about him, he's not getting a full idea of who she is and what we all know about her. But hearing him say that, like, I really feel like he's doing his homework, and he knows a lot more about Katie than like I even thought that he did. But I'm glad that he said that, because Ty was mixing like a drink. Yeah, all three. Yeah, she did say all three of them take Adderall, and then she made a comment, something about she takes 3 doses a day. Or no, not 3 doses a day. Backtrack. I'm lying to you guys. She said it was a 12-hour medication. Is that what she said? So if she takes her medication at 7 o'clock in the morning, by 7 in the evening, she can drink because it's out of her system. But I don't even think that's how Adderall works. I think it's like, I don't think that's how it works, right? Either way, I looked it up. My moderators looked it up, and you are not supposed to drink alcohol when you are taking Adderall. But anyways, let's continue to listen. I was just glad that he brought that up, and that just told me that he's listened and watched more than what I thought. It's not just concerning him anymore, that he pays attention to.
She starts getting caught up and tangled up in her lies. She starts trying to use her child as a diversion tactic. They attacked my child. We never attacked a child in our life.
Nor would I.
We try to help children. Unlike the YouTuber who wants to go out here and post people's children all over her format and with pictures of them and whatever. And then she gets offended when I say, if your child is as sick as you have claimed that they are, then you should shut up, put the wine glass down, close the lid on your laptop, and take care of your child. Be a mother, not a YouTuber. YouTubing comes after mothering.
100%.
But then
That's something else that I agree with him on 1,000%. Like YouTubing, and I know I've heard people say this. YouTube is not a job. YouTube is not a job. It is for me. And I think, when I don't think anyone starts YouTube saying, oh, that's going to be my job. You know what? My job is going to be on YouTube. I'm going to start my channel and it's going to be my job and I'm going to make money. I've also saw comments where people say YouTube shouldn't be your job, that you should not do YouTube for an income. Which to that I say is like, why not? You know what I'm saying? Like, people are photographers for a job. People are all kind of things for a job. What says you can't be a YouTuber for a job? Now, do I think that it's a very lucrative job? Not for all. It takes for some people it could take years. So don't say I'm going to be a YouTuber and it's going to be my job right when you start a channel, because it could be 5 years before you grow big enough to actually make an income that is lucrative enough to take care of your family. But hold on one second, you guys. Eli, it is bedtime. I don't know. It's after 9 o'clock. What are you doing? I'm sorry, guys. My son, knowing that it's bedtime, he was up in the dining room playing the VR. But anyways, even though YouTube is my job, like I still, for the most part, put my kids in front of it. Like if my kids, like today, my son had a field trip to Cyport, and it was so fun. And like I went to Cyport when I was a kid, and Cyport was my most favorite place to go on a field trip. So when I saw that they were going to Cyport, I was like, oh my gosh, this is gonna be so cool. We can bring, I told my husband, I was like, hey, we should go and we can bring Kennedy, and it's just gonna be so cool. Now it's the dog, you guys. I'm so sorry. Please, no, ma'am. Well, this live probably won't stay up because it's super unprofessional, but I apologize. I tried. So, anyways, when I started YouTube, it was not for this to be my job. I started YouTube because, I have 6 kids and I just wanted something to do when they go to sleep. Yes, Dash. I'm about an hour and a half from Shreveport. But when I say we went to the city, I mean Shreveport. That's the city that I'm talking about. So I started YouTube just as something fun for me to do when the kids go to bed, whatever. It was not my job. It was just fun. And if I made money, great. My husband worked at the time. He made decent money. It wasn't, I haven't needed to work since me and Sean's been married, really. So it was, anyways, it got to the point to where I started making decent money. And then my husband got laid off through COVID. And then when we realized it would be a while probably for the economy to pick back up and he could get a job, he decided to enroll in school, go back to school. Now I'm having an asthma attack. I'm having an asthma attack now. So let me, woosah. So anyways, even though YouTube is now my job, because my husband, he finished school not that long ago, and I make enough money to where we're fine. And I've actually asked him not to go back to work. If he goes back to work, I would prefer for him to work from home using the degree that he just got. He just got a degree in computer coding. So we have a 4-year-old that starts school next year. So I'm like, hey, stay home. I work during the day. I actually get up with my daughter in the mornings. We eat breakfast. I hang out with her for about an hour, and then I get ready and I work like until my kids get home. Now, sometimes if I'm editing and I'm close to getting the video done, or it's a video I need to get done that day, I will continue editing after they come home, and Sean will tend to them, Whew. I'm going to ask Sean if he can bring me my inhaler when he gets out of the bath. Sorry. So, anyways, even though this is my job and this is what takes care of our family now, when Kennedy goes to school next year, if Sean decides to work, great. I would prefer for it to be something at home, because one thing that I like is, even though this is my job, when the kids have a function at school, I can take off and me and Sean can go to it together, which is something we've never been able to do. We've never been able to go to functions together because he worked off for years. The first 10, 12 years of mine and Sean's marriage, 11 years of mine and Sean's marriage, he worked off. So he missed a lot. So I really enjoyed, like today kind of reminded me of that again when we were up at Cyport, playing with our kids. I was like, this is so awesome. Like, I'm so glad we can do this. And I told him again, like, I don't want us to ever have a job to where we can't do this. And as long as we can live like this, that's how I would like for us to live. Never, if it ever gets to where I can't do YouTube because whatever happens, something happens, my channel gets shut down or something, and Sean can't work from home and make enough money to take care of us, of course, we'll both get, regular jobs. But even in a regular job, like, your kids still come first. I mean, as much as they can when you have a regular job. But YouTube, no, this is my job. YouTube is my job. And for all the people that's like, it shouldn't be your job, well, it is. For all the people that says YouTube don't need to be a job, it can be. But still, like with YouTube, even more so, I can put my kids first. And that's what I love so much about it. I'm going to go get my inhaler. I'm so sorry, you guys. Whew. Okay, I'm so sorry. I don't like streams that can't be a little bit more professional. Okay. So anyways, yeah, like, Katie has said several times, like, this is my job. This is my job. Great, Katie, let it be your job. Like, I get it. Katie makes bank. For people that don't realize how much money Katie makes, she makes bank. Like, there's months Katie's making 30 grand a month. You know what I'm saying? So, like, it's Katie's job, but you don't have to be on stream like all day, every day, 24/7. Like, if she's not on YouTube, she's on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? So, and her son's at home with her. Like, I just feel like, and I don't want to talk about anybody else's parenting, but I designate the morning to spend with Kennedy. Like, because I do work from home during the day. Like, I couldn't imagine working from home and just getting up and going straight to work. And my little girl getting up and being like, Mama, play with me. And me being like, nope, sorry, I got to work. No, like, I designate the morning, like an hour or two, just me and her. And then she knows, like, when I say, okay, baby, I got to work now. Like, she understands it. I do think she makes money off IG. Like, I think she's at the point where, yes, she can make money off IG. So anyways, yeah, so I understand him saying, like, your kids should come before your job, especially if your job is YouTube. Like, even more so if your job is YouTube, because you can pick and choose when you work. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, so let's go ahead and let's listen. Let's listen to some more of it.
I guess the worthless husband wants to chime in and say that people should not use the term celebrity YouTuber.
Let's back it up just a little bit.
that they are.
Flossie, I was about to. I don't like, I was just going to keep talking until I was blue in the face, I guess.
Then you should shut up, put the wine glass down, close the lid on your laptop, and take care of your child. Be a mother, not a YouTuber. YouTubing comes after mothering. But then I guess the worthless husband wants to chime in and say that people should not use the term celebrity when they reference us. And that, we should be doing this and we should be doing that. You should be getting a job. And then you would not have to worry about what your wife is doing. It's always baffled me, men that are willing to let their wives work while they sit on their ass. They clearly did not get that message that the man is to be the leader of the household. He is to be a provider, to put a roof over his family's head.
Okay, I got to comment on that. Really quick because y'all know because when he said that, I'm like, when I play this, people's going to be like, hold up, Sean sits at home. He does. But Sean was laid off ever since I met Sean. Sean has worked since he was like 15 years old, right? Like 15 years old. He's worked. He has served 2 tours, Iraq, Afghanistan. Sean used to come home, and I'm telling you guys, we couldn't get his hands clean because he just we got him, but they were like stained, and his hands were just like callous from like working. So I'm glad that he don't have to no more. And I can't blame Todd, her husband, for not working because she's bringing in the money. You know what I'm saying? And Sean, he takes care of Kennedy during the day. He takes care of the other kids when they get home, if I need to continue working. And he's building my studio. You know what I'm saying? So I got to point that out there that way because I'm like, oh, Lord, people watching, they're going to be like, Sean don't work. Sean, he works. He's not sitting around doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? And he worked his butt off for many, many, many years.
Not to sit at home and act like you have a job. Now, I just got an email the other day, not an email, but social media message that was telling me about this man getting fired from his job. Now, what I'm repeating, now, folks, I want to make sure I'm very clear because the YouTuber likes to twist and contort. That the message said that he was laid off from his job. The YouTuber's husband was laid off from his job. Then this YouTuber decides to go after the boss, and then he ends up getting fired. Now, I don't know if that's true. I'm repeating what has been sent to me in writing. So I believe as a man, if you cost me my job, I would cause you to sit your ass down.
100%.
Right?
I would be like, nah, you just cost me my job. Shut up.
He said, nah.
But there is something going on with this individual. There's literally something going on. The YouTuber is not altogether there, I don't think. Because the way that she twists the narrative of a comment, and the sad part about it, why I say that she's not all there, is that if you're going to quote me and you're going to quote it from the podcast, knowing that people can go and listen to the podcast.
That's what she does.
Don't just pick and parcel what you want to use, because we're going to use the whole podcast to show that you're trying to take something out of context to make it what you want it to be. And that's what this YouTuber does. I mean, this YouTuber says that I'm not allowed to speak and that I'm in trouble federally because she has contacted the FBI and other members of the federal government, that they're not happy with me talking. No one has informed me that I don't have a First Amendment right. No one has informed me of any of this other than Krusty Graham Cracker, who sent an email to the federal government saying that, I don't know what they were trying to do, trying to get me to not be able to file suit against Krusty. Well, not Krusty, since what's her YouTuber. So that's really the only thing. To be putting that stuff out there is slanderous. And these are the things, that's why I do not engage on social media about any of this stuff. I keep it confined here because it's one location that it makes it easy for our attorneys to go to one location to retrieve this information, and that's this podcast. But when you go and you put things in writing that are a lie, and you know it's a lie when you type it, that is defamation. So our attorneys have said, do not respond via social media if you want to talk about it on your podcast, as long as what you're saying is the truth, that you have the right to do that. So, I think that from where we sit, we encourage her to continue to keep running because it makes our task easier. I think that she stated now that the suit that I have filed against her has been delayed because waiting on my trial. Not true. Not true. She received a notice today from the courts that either she will comply or she will dismiss her motion. So that came out today. So she will be in this hearing on Wednesday, or she will withdraw her motion.
Which she did.
We don't care. We look forward to the hearing.
Okay. So what he said there, which is interesting, because he said that Katie was saying that she wasn't going to have to appear, or that court date wouldn't happen or whatever, and that something was filed saying, oh yeah, you have to be there and you have to comply, or you have to withdraw your motion for dismissal. And she did. She did just that. So yeah, and I don't blame Todd Paulson for not working. Like, I saw someone's comment and I was like, that's true. It's actually good that he don't work. If Katie can make enough money to take care of them, then great. And even better that he can be at home to tend to Vaughn, because if not, nurses would be taking care of Vaughn. So at least Vaughn has Todd, and I really think, I don't like Todd Paulson, but I think he's a good dad. Like I saw a video I think posted on Twitter, and like I could see one video of him like reading with his son and like playing I think maybe dinosaurs with him, and then I saw one where he was like in a rocking chair and Vaughn was like sitting in his lap or whatever. So I think he's a good dad. So I think it's good. Oh my goodness. So I think it's good that he can stay at home and be with Vaughn. There's not staff there anymore, because I couldn't imagine staff, being the one to basically raise your child, essentially, and how the effects that has on your child to not have either parent there. So yeah, okay, that makes sense. I think she's delaying as much as she can because she doesn't have any receipts to hand over. She really believes if Chrisley goes to the pokey, she'll win her case, but that's not necessarily true. I think that's what she's trying to do as well, trying to delay, because my opinion, a lot of the things that she said that she claimed come from sources was crap that she made up. And she knows that she cannot provide sources because she has none. And yes, I was on with Uncivil, Nate, and Charlotte the other day, and it was kind of, it wasn't okay. So I spoke to Stephanie, the moderator for Uncivil, and the day of the hearing, we planned for me to go on with Uncivil. Charlotte was going to be there. I didn't know about Nate being there. So this happened the day before. The day before the hearing, we decided that I would be on with Uncivil and Charlotte. Now, the morning of the hearing, Sean got metal in his eye. So Sean sets everything up for me because I'm computer illiterate. So I'm in the bathroom doing my thing, and Sean gets metal in his eye, and his eye is just bloodshot, and he's in pain. And he's like, I got metal in my eye. And I'm like, what do you need to do? Do you need to go to the doctor? Like, what do you need to do? And he's like, I need to go to the hardware store and get a magnet so I can get it out. I'm like, go do it. So he goes to do that. So I'm here with Kennedy. And Kennedy wants something to eat. So I go to make her something to eat, because at this point it's getting close to lunchtime, which normally Sean would make her lunch. Like I do the breakfast, he does the lunch. So it's getting close to lunchtime. She says she's hungry. So I'm like, okay. So I go turn the oven on. I keep my cast iron skillets in the oven, and I always forget to take them out when I go to turn the oven on, right? So I turned that oven on to like 425. I don't know what it was. And a little while later, about 10 minutes later, I'm like, oh, my cast iron skillets. So I go and I get them out with the mitt and I put it on the stove. But the food that I prepared to put in the oven for her got on the stove. So I put the cast iron skillet on the stove. I put her food in the oven. And then I'm going to go clean the stove off from the food that kind of fell off on the stove, right? I put the mitt, I take the mitt off, set it down. And I go to pick the cast iron skillets up to move them off the stove so I could properly clean the stove. And as soon as I grabbed it, I realized that I burnt my hands, all of my fingers. I don't know if you guys can really tell, but I have like blisters on my fingers and stuff. You probably can't really see it. So I I text Sean and I said, it's okay. I don't think we're going to have time for me to finish getting ready and for you to set up. And now I've burnt my fingers. I don't know what to do. So oh, thank you, Abundant Love. That's how it usually is here. We usually like just chit chat, but I do have people complain if there's a lot of interruptions, which sucks. So, anyways, I text Sean. I said, I think I'm just going to have to cancel being on with Uncivil as much as I hate it. I literally was like, I can't take my hand out of cold water because if I do, it's fire and you have metal in your eye. And, so he gets home and I message Uncivil's moderator, Stephanie, and I'm like, I'm not going to be able to make it. Sean gets home. And yes, if you have metal in your eye, apparently the way to get it out is a magnet. So he comes in and he puts toilet tissue over the end of the magnet. And he holds his eyeball open, and I put the magnet very close to his eye, and sure enough, it gets the metal. Uncivil goes live, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm missing out on this. He's reading Katie's motion to dismiss. I think it was her motion to dismiss for the 7M lawsuit. So he's reading that, and Nate's there, Charlotte's there, and I'm like, dang it, this is such a good live. And Sean's like, well, go ahead and hop on, like I got Kennedy now, the magnet's out of my eye, so go ahead and hop on. So I messaged Stephanie and I'm like, hey, is it too late for me to join? And she's like, no, sure, join. So I joined and I was on, and the whole time I'm live, you guys, I have like a pencil in this hand and maybe a pen, but I had this hand in a bowl of ice water. The whole time I had this hand in a bowl of ice water. But anyways, yes, if you ever get metal in your eye, a magnet will get it out. Apparently, even if you go to the doctor, they will use a magnet to get it out. So anyways, when I say it was kind of off the cuff, like it was planned for like a date, and then I was like, nope, I can't do it. And then like 20 seconds. Okay, I'm going to do it. So anyways, hopefully we'll be able to do it again. I really like Uncivil. I like Nate. I like that they do seem to be, I'm biased as hell. You know what I'm saying? But they seem to be unbiased. And I can appreciate that, even though I don't like hearing them say, Todd Chrisley's lawsuit's not going to go anywhere. We don't believe in it. I don't like that. And when Uncivil said that Tati didn't have a case, I was like, what? Are you crazy? But when he breaks it down, you really understand what he's saying there. So anyways, but yeah, I thought this live was interesting. Now, last week, after Todd's live, was it last week? Oh, no. When Katie withdrew the motion to dismiss. That's right, Elizabeth. Sean is basically like my producer manager, because he keeps up, like he's building my studio. He keeps up with all of our tax stuff, like everything that we buy for it. He does all our paperwork. He goes and buys groceries during the day, him and Kennedy, while I work. So anyways, when Katie withdrew the motion for dismissal and she filed she made the announcement that she was countersuing Todd, he jumped on his Twitter and he did say a few things. I can respect that, Carrie. Not everybody is everybody's cup of tea, so I get it. I'm biased as hell too of the people who are suing. Sis, listen to Civil's take, they'd be able to strengthen their case. Yeah, I can agree with that. Thank you, Jennifer. Sometimes, maybe not always, because sometimes, we get on each other's nerves sometimes. So he went on Twitter when she withdrew her motion to dismiss and announced that she was filing a countersuit. And he said, first off, I love this, that he gave Emily D. Baker a shout out. I love that he gave Emily D. Baker a shout out. So he said, let the games begin. Already running out of money so soon with so many more suits to defend. This is going to prevent her from buying not one, but those 2 Bentleys. And then after that, he said, huge shout out to at the Emily D. Baker on all your success. Can't recommend this channel enough. And Emily just so happened to surpass Katie in subscribers that day. And then he said, laugh my butt off. I see you peeking. And then after that, he said, don't make me post that email begging for no further litigation because you out of cash and don't want no more litigation. Yep, I got it, Trick. Also, I just remembered, I don't think that was the end of him talking about her because there's something else that he talks about. So let me play it because I don't think that was all.
We talk openly and frequently about taking care of our mental health. And that's why I wanted Top on their mission to make quality
Literally, I got thousands.
care accessible and affordable for all.
Good night, Cheryl.
So that's kind of where we are with it for all the people that literally, I got thousands of messages on all forms of social media about this last week. And I want to make sure that we are very clear here at Chrisley Confessions, Todd and Julie. We love all children. We have always taken care of our children and prided ourselves in taking care of our children. We are very aware that we have had issues in our lives that have caused us significant heartache. And I don't wish to, even with YouTuber, as much as I think that she's a menace to society, I don't wish ill will towards her. And certainly I don't wish ill will towards a child. I don't know if the child is sick or not. Never seen the child. I mean, I've received tons of pictures and, whatever of people telling me that it's not true. But I don't know if it's true or not. Only a parent knows what's going on in their home and with their child. And I can only say this, if your child is not sick and you are using that to get money from GoFundMe accounts and to garner sympathy and to use your child as a method of distraction from the facts that you've been called in, you need more help than your child does because that's twisted. But if the YouTuber's child is truly sick, then I'm going to place the child in my prayers. I mean, I watched a very disturbing video the other day that was sent to me of this YouTuber saying F God. And it caused me so much discomfort that I just stopped watching it.
Yeah.
Because I thought, who says that to God, knowing that God has the capability of taking your child?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, who would do that? That gave me such severe anxiety over that. So, let's just do this. Let's just not talk about it anymore unless this individual posts again about us. And then I'll address each post that she puts out there. And then we'll let the courts do what they're going to do. But what she has done thus far has really just stacked the pile in our favor. So we don't care what she says at this point. And yes, there are other lawsuits coming. 2 other attorneys have been retained there in Minnesota to file these 2 additional actions that we're aware of. And there are going 4 more that are going to be filed. So, call it whatever you want to. I've never even heard of these sock accounts or something, but I Googled it. I now know this like fake accounts that people control or whatever. I don't care what they put out there and say that, he promised a class action. I didn't promise anything. I said, get it to a class action because hundreds of people were complaining about it. Don't complain. Send in your emails. All your emails came in. Our attorneys have reviewed them, and you have to have money to fight a lawsuit. So if you want to join, then it's after these other, I don't know if it's 4 more after the 2 or 3 more after the 2. So either 5 or 6. I think you only have to have 7 or 8. So hell, we might already be getting there. But regardless of that, we're going to keep doing what we do, and everybody else will do what they do. And if you don't want a response, don't say something that garners a response. So that's kind of where I am with it. So tell me what's going on with you and your life, Miss Julie.
Okay, so that was interesting because he says, according to him, 2 more lawyers in Minnesota have been retained to file a lawsuit against Katie Joy. I wish that means sometime this week, surely sometime this week. I would have to think, right? I mean, from the time that I retained my attorney, hell, I don't know. How long does it usually take from the time that you retain, when you have an attorney that from the time that you retain your attorney, how long does it usually take for they file it? Does anybody know? I'm going to say within the next week, surely we should see something with those 2 and we'll know who they are. But yeah, right now we have, Steve, which I don't think his is going anywhere. The 7M, Todd said that Julie, Chase, and Savannah will be filing independently a lawsuit against Katie. Yes, without a crystal balls. I did see that, which, like I said, that makes sense. After I heard that, I was like, well, that makes sense why she withdrew her motion for dismissal, right? That's why she withdrew it. because she was notified that she needed to comply. They have that pocket service in Minnesota. Yeah. Someone said, is Todd still in the closet? Well, watch him on the Wendy Williams show because he's actually so funny. And he actually says he doesn't mind that people do that really. Because when he was on Wendy Williams and she was like, so I heard that you were nominated for King of Reality Television. He said, King or Queen, whatever you believe. And she was like, so are you in the closet? He goes, honey, I'm not in the closet, but if I was ever in the closet and gonna come out, it would come with a large paycheck. So he don't really mind it, I don't think. I think he thinks it's pretty funny as well. Now, that's not to say that Todd don't have some feminine characteristics. You know what I'm saying? Like he does. And he's fine with that. But, he's married to a woman. He's got children. He says he's never crossed that line. And despite what anybody wants to assume, he maintains that he is not gay, which if he was, would it matter? I don't think so. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Right now I have I've been dealing with my own situation that's coming to a, so that's kind of been my priority. And then Lindsay's post. Lindsay did make a post that said her attorney will be in touch this week. So maybe she's another one. Let me read that post. Maybe Jessa and Amy, maybe Jill. I don't think it's Jill because Jill's husband, Derek, talks to Katie sometimes. So I don't think it's Jill. No, you don't. Don't say that. It's fine. All right. Where is it? Oh, yeah. I took a photo of it. Let me go find it. I got all these photos from today with the kids. It was so cute. Okay. So this is what Lindsay said. So Lindsay said, this was yesterday. She said, I contemplated even sharing, but the amount of attention this is getting, I need to address and exit the room. On Friday, I was accused of threatening to sue a YouTuber on Coffee Combos podcast for defamation. Anyone who knows me personally knows I don't threaten anything. If I want to do something and I'm within my legal rights to do something, and within my legal rights to do so, I will. This allegation is wildly false. I've simply asked for my name, image, and likeness to not be used when reporting. It was alleged that her counsel had teleconference with the U.S. Attorney's Office, who had allegedly claimed that I am a witness in a federal case. Said YouTuber claimed that I have changed my testimony without even speaking to me. This is dangerous, reckless behavior. This is a federal case awaiting trial. It's alarming that any prosecutor or federal agent would just freely give up that information on an alleged witness to a non-party, which, according to Nate and Civil, they said he shouldn't have. That an attorney general should not have given that information up to Katie. As I have stated several times before, this is damaging to my mental and emotional health and brand at this point. Her husband has joined in the harassment and speaks about me and slanders me. It is so sad that people thrive and financially benefit and prey on people when they are aware of the mental impact they are having on another human being. Maybe spend less time focusing on other humans' downfalls and more focused on things that positively impact your life. Stop reporting on any Chrisley. Simple. I think this is, I like that she said this because, she's been estranged from her dad. And we know that they've been speaking to each other through their attorneys. So I love that she says, because this tells me here that she's also got her dad's back now. She says, stop reporting on any Chrisley. Simple. And then she says, stop reporting, attaching my name and image. My attorney will be in touch this week. So I'm assuming Lindsay's attorney will be sending her a cease and desist. That's just my guess. If it's nothing more than that, I think she's definitely going to have her attorney send a cease and desist. What do you guys think? I'm sorry to hear that, Joe. Well, the thing is Lindsay's story did change. And Lindsay admitted that. Lindsay said she was given false information. Um, and she believed something for a long time without knowing the facts and without having proof of what she was being told. And that's in regards to her dad and Chase buying a sex tape, and they were going to use it to blackmail her. Apparently, she was told this, that Chase bought the tape. But that was not the case. Apparently, Chase was just approached and said, I have this tape of your sister and I'll sell it to you for $5,000. And Chase was like, no. So by the time somehow I got to Lindsay, Lindsay was told that they did buy it for $5,000 and that they were going to use it to blackmail her with. So I can't wait to see a group picture of her legal team, right? Right. But anyways. Thank you. Beautiful, always gorgeous hair too. Oh, thank you, Joe. Can people take away YouTube, IG, and Twitter? I'm not sure. I know one thing that Uncivil was saying is that you cannot hold YouTube responsible for the content that's put on there. As far as like Katie's content, maybe in a lawsuit, I don't know. Maybe in a lawsuit through a settlement, like maybe they can request that she be removed off YouTube. Like maybe that could be part of the settlement. Just say like when she settled with Tati, like maybe if a part of Tati's settlement was we want her off YouTube, she can no longer have a YouTube channel. I guess Katie could have said, oh, I'm not accepting that. I guess when it comes to a settlement, you can agree to accept it, or you can say, I'm not agreeing to that. And I guess if she is found guilty of defaming 7am or Todd Chrisley, maybe I don't know. Could a judge, do you think a judge can kick someone off social media? Like YouTube? Maybe so.
Probably.
Don't you think the judges would be sick of all the lawsuits on KJ? Surely someone can figure this out. So according to Nate and Uncivil, for each lawsuit, you can't bring up the other lawsuit. No prior bad acts can be brought in to the previous lawsuit. So even though she has 3 suits right now and potentially more on the way, they can't bring up the other suits. Like it can't be used for their benefit, which sucks because I think it should show a pattern. I think it should show a pattern. Like, hey, look, I'm suing her because she defamed me. There's been 2 other people attempt to sue her. There's another person suing her, and then we've heard whatever. I think it should be, but apparently not. Oh, well, that's good to know. Defamation is against YouTube TOS, but they leave it up to the court to determine defamation. So if she loses a defamation case, if YouTube is notified, then she'd be off YouTube. That's good to know. Yeah, and the cops she accused all not saying shame that be precious in court. YouTube won't take action until the courts do, unless they catch TOS being violated. What's so crazy is she has violated TOS. She's violated TOS, and she's been reported for it. And I swear, it's like you can't bring her down. I don't even know. Like on streams that she said stuff about me, I reported it. Didn't matter. And even though I don't like Jim Bob and Josh, they are a part of a religious group, and religion is protected. I also saw when I was reading TOS, I've read them ever so often. It said if you do videos repeatedly over the same person, repeatedly, it has to be like a good bit. It could be considered harassment if they report it. Also, people that if you're covering a religious group, which I think the Duggars, she attacks them for their religious beliefs. So I feel like if they were to report her for attacking them for their religious beliefs. Hey, T. Russell, I was just up there today. But I don't know. It's like nothing ever happens to her.
Yeah, you reported her for doxing our financial information and lying about it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And they didn't do nothing about it.
Okay, the person who defamed Cardi B on YouTube still has their YouTube account. They just have to take down it. Yeah, they had to take down their defamatory videos. And what's crazy is when Tasha K was sued by Cardi B during litigation, Tasha K didn't remove any of her stuff about Cardi. Now, when Cardi won, she still didn't take it down. She won the lawsuit, and they said, "Yeah, you are guilty of defaming her." But what's crazy is they never said, "No, go take it down." So after the lawsuit, after Cardi B won the lawsuit, Cardi B's like, "Okay, she's going to take everything down," right? She didn't. So Cardi B had to go back to court and say, okay, make her take it down. And they had to make her take it down. This was like a whole separate situation. Like she filed the suit against Tasha K, won it, but they never said, they said, yeah, you defamed her, but they never said you have to take it down. So she had to go back and say, hey, take it down. Yeah, he did say that YouTube has been notified. Somebody mentioned, the Jill Dillard earlier. Jill Duggar Dillard.
Dang, I just freaking
You hit someone. Sorry, Leanne, I got it.
I didn't hit it. I think I did.
No, I got it. Sorry, Leanne. Yeah, yeah. You've been with me for a minute. You've been in like 3 or 4 streams, right, T. Russell? We were at Southport today. So someone mentioned Jill Dillard earlier. Derek Dillard talks to Katie. Katie has talked about that on her channel. She's brought that up. She's said that she's talked to Derek in DMs. They've chatted. So I don't think they're going to say, I don't understand why. I'm like, I don't know why he would talk to her after all the stuff that she's said about him and his wife, but whatever. But KJ posts mainly on other platforms and she deletes everything as soon as she posts it. Yeah, Katie is one person on IG and then another person on YouTube. So, yeah, she has to be banned. What's crazy is the other day I was told that Todd Chrisley reported her. Oh, he does talk to her, Shaylin. He talks to her.
Yeah, Leanne, I accidentally hid you, but then I unhid you real quick.
Leanne, Sean is a moderator, and he accidentally hid you for like 2 seconds, and then he unhid you. You should say y'all were there. I would have paid y'all's way to Southport. I'm only 2 minutes away. Oh, thank you. Our son had a field trip there today, so we went. It was really cool. But there's no proof. I've had it confirmed through multiple sources that they do talk. And as much as I don't want, as much as I didn't want to believe it when she started saying that she talked to Derek, I was like, no way, no way. I've talked to 2 people that know Derek, and they've even told Derek, why do you talk to her? He does. No, yeah, they've never talked. As far as I know, they've never talked on the phone. It's just been through like DMs. I miss school field trips. My baby's almost 22. Yeah. When I found out they were going to Southport, I was like, I want to go to that so bad because Southport, when I was young, that's where we went. We would go to Southport, and it was literally my most favorite field trip to go to was Southport. She finally gave up on Twitter except for posting links to videos. I think Tati she sued against because KJ almost break. Yeah, from my understanding, that lawsuit did take a toll on Tati. Tati and James did separate. Oh, I'm so glad you did, Calico Hearts. I'm so glad you did. My surgery will be May 3rd. I go yeah, May 3rd is when I'll have my surgery. It does look different. Now, the one thing that I really remembered the most was the bed of nails. So I went and laid on the bed of nails. Sean took pictures of me on the bed of nails. Thank you. Derek could be on a reconnaissance mission for fact finding. He has his JD. Yeah, I mean, from my understanding, he has his reasons for doing it, and he don't really care, what she said because whatever. But yeah, when she first said it, I was like, what? Like, why would he do that? Like, at first, I just figured he didn't know all the shit, all the crap, I'm so sorry. At first, I just thought he don't know what she said about them. But then I sent it to people. I'm like, hey, get this to Derek. And they, from my understanding, they sent it to Derek and he knew about it. Yes, that's next week. They're back together. So they split up for like, I know they just slipped out, and I'm not even like that. Like, I don't just slip out I don't just slip out curse words like that, do I, babe? That was kind of weird. Whatever. I apologize. Especially I said it really loud too. I hope all the kids are asleep. Please post how she's doing. Yeah, I'll have Sean post or I'll post or something. So when the lawsuit happened for a little bit, they did separate. I think she moved out and she wasn't wearing her ring because they were separated, and that's how she lost her ring. I think she said she thinks she actually donated it because she donated a lot of her stuff when she moved. She downsized and yeah. Did she talk about more known people just to stay relevant? I believe I read Derek stated they believe in turning the other cheek. I believe in turning the other cheek too. I do. I've turned the other cheek when it comes to Katie so much. I've got hit this way, that way on both butt cheeks. And at this point, it's like, never mind, girlfriend. No. You can turn the other cheek, but you don't have to be dumb, because my thing is turn the other cheek, but don't continue to open yourself up to be the punching bag for someone, Yes, I have to have, it is a preventative surgery to prevent female cancer. So I have precancerous cells that in time will turn to cancer. Oh my goodness. All these lights are attracting like little tiny, like Todd says, she's a menace to society. Yeah. He lived in Bossier City. He lived on Air Force Base. Yeah. And we go to Super all the time. We're not together anymore. Yeah. That's Barksdale. That's Barksdale. Yeah, at some point you got to stand up for yourself. Let me know if you need anything. My mom was a nurse, and my brother's a nurse. So let me know if you. Oh, thank you, Taylor. Thank you. I sure will. Yeah, I turned the other cheek plenty of times. I mean, even her first apology, everybody was like, "That's not an apology." Like her first apology was like, "Well, I'm sorry, Leslie, but you shouldn't have did that." Like, I'm sorry, Leslie, but I still don't agree with what you said, and you should have never said any of that. And it's like, but Katie, you say you didn't watch the video. You're just going off what you heard my video was about. You could have at least been like, I'm sorry, Leslie, I haven't watched the video. Someone gave me details about the video. I didn't agree with the details that I heard, but I should have watched it before commenting on it. But no, the thing is she was a little sloshed, like Ty Chrisley says. Oh my gosh, where we live, I swear to God, where we live, like, and we have 3 doors to our house, 6 kids going in and out too. So, we have to bring the dog in and out, the kids in and out. We always have freaking, especially when I have the lights on, the little bugs. Right. Turn the other cheek, but do what you can, to keep a menace to society from being able to hurt more people. Yeah. Yes. Thank you, Shaylin. I like that name, Shaylin. Thank you. Yep, that's what my mom always says. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. That's what she says. She gatekeeps. Yep, and has a different set of rules. Absolutely. Thank you, Nayli. How do you say your name? Nayli? Thank you. I love this community. Oh, we love you, Erin. We love you. Sometimes people just don't want people to be happy. That's what I get from her. Like, that's really what I get from her. She just don't like to see people happy, people doing well. I think it irritates her. Right. But girl, that would mean she was being fair. If there's one thing she is not as fair. True. Yeah, J. Marie, she denies that. There were points after that where I was like, well, maybe it's not true. Maybe it is. Maybe it's not. At this point today, I don't know. But would I put it past her? No. With all the stuff that I've seen her say about other people, uh, how I've seen her attack people, how I've seen her attack the lady that had lost her daughter in her chat, I would not be shocked at all. And let me tell you, when I got that message, I was ready to get my car and go to Minnesota, if you know what I'm saying. Yeah, she's very mad. I don't understand. Like, I don't get it. Like, I watch YouTube videos and I have channels that I'm subscribed to, that I try to watch as often as I possibly can. There's a few people that they're just mean to their subscribers. Like, I was reading on Twitter earlier where somebody like made this community post, like complaining about something, right? And her subscribers was like, "I'm so sorry, you don't deserve that." And this YouTuber said something like, "Sorry don't do nothing for me. Don't tell me you're sorry." What? If I was, first off, if that was person, I'd say, okay, screw you. Bye-bye. Remember, these people pay they're your check. Don't, like, this is your check. Like, you guys watching is what pays us. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then someone under that was like, the person under that didn't say I'm sorry. They was just like, oh, I just love your channel so much. And I'm like, if I would have got on there, read the comment, being like a subscriber of this person, I would be like, oh my God, this is so terrible. I feel so bad for that because I like this YouTuber and she's going through a hard time. And then if I would have read the comment where someone said, I'm sorry, and she's like, sorry, don't do nothing for me. Don't tell me you're sorry. I would have been like, oh, wow. Okay. I was just about to tell the girl, I'm sorry, but this is what she did to this girl. So I'm out. And I would have unsubscribed and I would have said, don't offer this channel to me again. Out. We are not from Shreveport or Bossier, but we're from a little bit south from there. I don't want to give too much away, like an hour and a half. Yeah, I really think she believes her own lies. I think she does too. Yeah, Katie needs Jesus and needs to accept that her son is who he is. KJ, be blessed. That's my thing is like, I know some people's not Christians, right? And Katie, Todd brought this up and he said he heard a video of Katie saying F God. And she did. There's a video out there of Katie talking about her son and how sick he is and saying F God for giving her a sick child. And I'm like, first off, yes, your child is sick, but like, my nephew was like 10 times sicker than him, and he's not here no more. Do you know what Flossie would give to have him back? So you need to be thankful that he is here with you, despite his disabilities, despite them. Because at any given moment, it could be over. We had no idea we were going to lose Abe. None. It was so shocking. You know what I'm saying? Like that. Literally like that. So she should be happy. She should be thanking her lucky stars every day, thanking Jesus that he has blessed her with another day with her son. Yes, Angela, I agree with that. I agree with that. And I think she holds some resentment God, it may be him, you know. Oh, I know, right, Jen? I do too. Sometimes I'm not a huge cursor, but I do sometimes. I can, but usually not so loud. And normally they don't fly out like that. Normally it's like I'm mad and I'll have intention behind saying it. You know what I'm saying? Like the fact that it just shot out was kind of wild, but whatever. Special needs are special kids. Absolutely. Yep. Good night, bossy. I know anyone with a mother's heart who has lost a baby, no matter miscarriage or exactly. Exactly. I'm back in the comments. Let me. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to catch up in the comments. Yeah. Jennifer, I know who you're talking about. You probably do. There might be a few people in here that know who I'm talking about. Or when you read it, you might know, you might be like, oh, that's what she's talking about. Yep. She's mean too. I was there for that one poor lady. Yep. She was so raw. My heart broke for her that night. I can't believe what I heard. I'm still in shock. It was wild. I couldn't even imagine. Anyone that stuck with Katie after seeing that, good night, just looking. Anyone that stuck with Katie after being on that stream and seeing that, I can't even imagine. I don't even know why you would. I'll be in Hanover in June. It's nice to know I won't run into her because she doesn't go out. True story, she doesn't, unless she's going to get some Botox. Yes, Shaylin, she does. Yeah, when you have a child with a disability or that is on the spectrum, it's like they are a blessing in your life. That is so true. Like my son Christian is like the cool, like he's so cool. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like he is so freaking cool, and he's on the spectrum, and it's like it. And I don't want to be like, oh, I'm happy he is, but he's like his own cool little kid. It's like I just love him, you know, and he's cool. What is her husband like then? Does she keep him in check? As in, is she the boss? He doesn't think. Yeah. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. She is the boss. If she's on a live stream and he says something, she will shoot him the eye like, "Shut up." Or if like she's on a live and Vaughn is like being loud, she will be like, "You can't have him screaming like that." And then she'll sit down and she'll be like, "I don't know what's wrong with my son." And clearly Todd's not paying attention to him. Like literally, like, yeah, no, he just kind of goes along with it. But he is a good dad, I think. I think he's a good dad. I'm so sorry, bossy. Good night. How the heck do they continue to go back and pay her check? I'm confused about that one. That's probably something. Katie's? Someone asked her a question and she responded with something like, "Are you trying to fight?" It wasn't a rude question either. Was that the one where she was like, "You want to go live with me? You want to go live and fight? I'll fight you." Was that one it? Some people thrive off other people's lives being so messed up, and it's awful. But people are thriving on people's lives getting destroyed. It's crazy. It's so sad. I was in the chat typing to that mom. I understand her loss. Lost a child at childbirth. After Katie, I left and then never gone back. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I just don't understand people that could be there for that and be like, "Oh yeah, she's cool people. I like her." You know what I'm saying? Like, no. So far, I do, but I can't really say much about it right now. Hopefully, I don't know when I'll be able to, but it's coming to an end. I can't say much about it because of that. Because I don't know what I'm allowed to say, so to be careful, I'm not saying anything right now until I sign all the paperwork. Dot the I's, cross the T's. I know anyone with a mother's heart is also baby. Yep, exactly. Special needs. Yep. Good night, Joe. Abe was definitely a blessing and a joy. As long as there's breath, there is hope. Exactly. I am going to Josh's, yes, because my surgery is May 3rd and Josh's sentencing is May 25th. So I'm definitely going there. I already got all the plans. I'm staying with a friend. She lives close, and it's going to be great. Yeah, all children are a blessing. Yep. Many people would kill to have a child regardless. Exactly. I knew this family. Well, I didn't know them personally, but Flossie did. Flossie actually worked for them, and they're actually a famous family. They were like on Oprah, but Flossie worked for them. It was a man and a woman. They were very rich, and they adopted kids with just special needs because she couldn't have kids. And well, actually, I think he may have had 2 kids. Maybe she couldn't, but either way, they adopted like 6 kids with special needs, and they had businesses, but I think for the most part, they just stayed home all the time and took care of these special needs kids. But then they were killed. It was like an inside job, like nanny, pool. I don't know, somebody that like worked with, because they had a lot of, they had like yard boys, pool boys, nanny, like people to help. And it was like an inside job. They were killed, but I'll have to ask Flossie the name of it. They were out of Florida. They own like car dealerships and stuff. That was on, I think it was on IG. Can someone remind me if it was on IG or YouTube where she said that about when the woman said she lost her daughter and she was like, "How dare you take the attention off me? Now everybody's showing you attention." Hey, Colleen. Yeah, maybe Katie's purpose in life is to show others how not to act. Yeah, maybe. Right, Andy. I've seen that as well. So Janie, yes, that's what we believe. A doctor did call, or one of the nurses actually called Flossie. Now, this was before we knew it was here, but they do believe that. Yeah. Yeah. She did not want kids. She actually talked about that on a stream saying that she did not want kids. But Todd did. So she agreed to have one for Todd. At the age of 36, I give anything to have him back. I bet, Carrie, that exactly. It don't matter if you lose your kid at young age, older. A mother should not have to bury their child. I couldn't even imagine. Like I miscarried, and that was devastating. Like that was good night, just looking. That was devastating. Like I went through a depression. I wasn't well. Me and Sean, like I wasn't good with him. But that is kind of what brought us back together, though. Like, or actually, we weren't doing well when I got pregnant. The miscarriage is kind of what brought us back. But I went through like a depression. I was not well. I have a son who's on the autism spectrum. The way she talks about her son absolutely breaks my heart. I would totally raise him. I know, right? So I would too. That precious boy I worry he sees, like, yeah, so sweet. She's so quick to label any religious. Yes, she is. I absolutely will, Joe. I will definitely keep your little dog in my prayers. She brags about having all this money, but what good is money if you're not enjoying your life and you lock yourself in a bedroom all day, right? I thought KJ and Todd lied about being Christians and then turning to faith. They let it slip. Which, yeah, they did. There was actually a stream where Katie said that they pretended to be Christians for 2 years. Yeah, there are clips out there where she's very bothered when he comes in the room. Y'all seen him crawl in the kitchen to get his non-alcoholic vodka out of the fridge? I got a giggle out of that. He tiptoed behind her. She doesn't know her son, or she wouldn't have made the statement. Willie knew Abe through YouTube, and he gave us so much joy. Exactly. You guys got to see Abe through my channel, and all of you guys had so much like love for him. When he passed, you guys were hurt as well. And I know a lot of people care for Vaughn. That's the thing is, I know so many people, like nobody's going to talk bad about him. Nobody would talk bad about him. Everybody wants the best for him. And that's a lot of the reason why so many people have issues with her, because they feel like she should at least show him a little bit more attention. He was nonverbal at 5 and still in diapers from my full-time job. It was a job that paid well because my son is 15 now and all his general ed classes doing well, non-modified diploma. That's awesome. That is so, and that's because of you, because you were hell-bent on being there for your child. When you have a child that is on the spectrum or lacking, you can sit back and do nothing. You can be like, oh, he'll get into the school system. He'll barely pass. They'll push him along just because he's autistic. They'll push him along, but really he'll be behind. But he'll get out. He'll graduate. Like Katie one time said in a stream that Vaughn would always live with them. He'll always live with us. He'll never be able to make it on his own. Why say that? Like push work with him. And I don't think that's the case. Like I've seen Vaughn come in her streams several times, and I think he's smarter than what she wanted us to believe, but that's what Julie Chrisley was saying. Like if I had a child like that, I would be with him morning, noon, and night, 24/7, pushing, working with him. And Hollister, the reason your son, is doing as well as he's doing is because you did that, next week on Wednesday. Oh no. That's terrible, Sherry. I'm sending you prayers. If you've only seen Katie on YouTube, check her on IG because that's where she can be really nasty. There's clips of it out there. Absolutely, the sky's the limit for him if she just worked with him. Thank you, Jennifer. His laugh was super cute. Yes, that's who it was, Barbara, the billing parents. So yes, billing parents. Yep, they were on Oprah as well. Thank you, Stephanie, for the super chat. The Billings. Hey, Elizabeth. So Florida. Flossie worked for them, I think. I'm pretty sure she did. I don't know if Flossie worked for them. Flossie, are you still here? Ate both breakfast and lunch watching your videos. Awesome. My daughter's dyslexic, and I've done so much for her. Exactly. Yes. Let me look this up because I know like their family. Actually, it may have been their daughter that was on Oprah after they were killed. Yeah, that's who it is. Bird and Melanie Billings. I'll read this to you guys. So, and then I'm gonna have to get off, you guys. I got to get up early in the morning. The murders of Bird and Melanie Billings occurred on or about July 9, 2019 in Pensacola, Florida. Bird Billings, 66, his wife Melanie, 43, were found shot to death on July 9th. The suspects, dressed in ninja garb, stole a safe and other items during the break-in at a sprawling Billings home in west of Pensacola. 9 of their children were at home at the time, but were not hurt by the intruders. Family's attorneys said that the safe contained jewelry, family papers, and prescription medication. Bird Billings, I smell cookies. Bird Starling Billings divorced his second wife, Cynthia Reed Billings, in January 1993. 4 months later, he married his third wife, Melanie Ann Billings. Melanie Billings had 2 biological children from her previous relationship, Ashley Markham and Nikki Billings. Nikki died in 2018. Melanie was 17 years old when she gave birth to Ashley and 19 years old when she gave birth to Nikki. Bird Billings reportedly had 2 biological children also, but not with Melanie. They had a total of 16 children, including each other's stepchildren, and adopted 5 children. One source said 13 of the children were adopted. One source said 13 of the children were adopted, but they're saying maybe that's what they're saying too. Before the couple's murder, 3 of their adopted children, many of whom have special needs, have died. At the time of their death, Melanie Billings owned a used car lot, and Bird Billings had a company named WorldCo Financial Service, which is where Flossie worked. Bird Billings was also a used car dealer and a former strip club owner. 7 men were charged with first-degree murder and home invasion robbery, and an 8th suspect was charged with being an accessory after the fact. In October 2010, Leonard Gonzalez was on trial for first-degree murder, facing possible death sentence. The Billings had 16 cameras located around the residence to help them observe their children. Some of the footage was shown in court. Gonzalez was identified in one of the videos by Frederick Thornton, one of his accomplices, as a person who shot Bird Billings on February 17th. It was announced that Gonzalez was being sentenced to death for first-degree murder on April 10th, 2014. Gonzalez's conviction and sentence of death were affirmed on direct appeal by the Florida Supreme Court. I want to see their kids. So this is where they lived, right here. And this was their children. See, like this one, you can tell has Down syndrome. These 2, you can tell, they're disabled. So they had, babe, are you cooking some? Hey, Flossie, I'm glad you could join us. We're actually talking about Bird and Melanie Billings. I don't know how I came up to this topic. Ashley was on Oprah. Their daughter. Ashley's the daughter. And she took all the children, right, Flossie? Didn't Ashley take all the kids? Let's see. The adult daughter of the slain adoptive parents, Bird and Melanie Billings, testified Tuesday about a frantic telephone call with a younger sibling who was unable to speak as their parents were being killed by armed intruders. State Attorney Bill Eddings said in opening statements that the alleged mastermind of the Pensacola area home invasions, 36-year-old Leonard Patrick Gonzalez, mistakenly thought the couple kept millions at their home. Gonzalez faces a possible death sentence if convicted. The couple's grown daughter, Ashley Markham, said the young boy named Jake, with an unspecified disability, could only scream into the phone. She told him to hand the phone to another one of the couple's 9 adopted special needs children, a young girl. Markham said she told the girl to run to the home of the nurse who lived on the property and call for help. I had a missed call from my mom. I called back and Jake answered the phone. He wasn't saying anything. He was just screaming. I was asking if he could let me talk to mom and dad. Nurse Ashley Spencer sobbed as she took the stand and told jurors about how the young girl knocked on the door and begged her to come to the home where she found the bodies of Bird and Melanie Billings. Spencer entered through a side door and discovered a trail of blood and bullet holes that led to the couple's bedroom, where she found Bird Billings face down in one pool of blood and Melanie Billings in another with gunshots through her face and chest. So they were killed. It was an inside job. I think these people worked for them, and they thought that they kept millions of dollars in that safe. A sheriff's deputy who was among the first to arrive on the scene at the sprawling rural home said officers went through each room and found the children, bringing them to the foot of the main staircase as they worked to secure the crime scene and make sure whoever shot the couple was no longer in the house. Earlier Tuesday, a prosecutor told the jury that the accused ringleader Gonzalez was desperate for cash and hatched a plan in hopes of stealing millions from the home safe. My front door just opened. So, my front main door opened and my screen door just shut. That's kind of weird. Gonzalez, a karate instructor and father of 6 young children, watched witnesses on Tuesday and talked with his attorneys. He wore leg chains in court, but security officers removed his handcuffs. He has been charged with assaulting another jail inmate with a pencil. Wow. Investigators say Gonzalez orchestrated the home invasion and required his partner in crime to dress in black ninja-like garb. Gonzalez's stepfather was a karate instructor, and Gonzalez and his wife also ran a karate business. In testimony on Tuesday, witnesses said Bird Billings donated $5,000 to a karate charity for children that Gonzalez and his wife ran. That is so wild. That is so wild. Sean, are you cooking? So Bird and his wife Melanie donated $5,000 to the karate establishment, and then the owner of the karate establishment killed them. The Billings were known for adopting children with special needs. Ashley Markham and her husband are now raising the children, who were between 4 and 11 when their parents were killed. Gonzalez's defense attorney told jurors that Gonzalez was the victim of investigators rushed to arrest someone. Among the evidence expected to be presented in a surveillance video taken from the sprawling home the night of the killings, the shadowy time-lapse video shows armed intruders dressed in black barging into the couple's living room. Melanie Billings is seen protectively grabbing what appears to be a child. The Billings were shot to death in their bedroom, where there were no video cameras. A safe that was taken from the family's home containing nothing of value, but a second safe that wasn't stolen had $164,000 in cash. Wow. So they stole one safe that had nothing and left the one that did have the money. So yeah. I don't know how I got on that topic, but hey everyone that's coming to the chat a little bit later. Yeah, the door just opened by itself. I think it was actually cracked a tiny bit, and I think the screen door was open a little bit, and I think that's why I keep seeing these gnats everywhere, because the doors were actually open a tiny bit. Hey, what you cooking?
Turkey bacon.
Hey, bring me one of them cookies out of the microwave, please.
You want any turkey bacon?
No, yes, please, and a cookie. Sorry. It was a past employee. I don't think the rest worked for Bud. Okay, so, and Bird they call Bud. So his name is Bird, but they call him Bud. Hubby is awake. Y'all take care. Smooth surgery and all amazing folks. Thank you so much, Catherine. Thank you. So Tiffany, we were listening to Todd Chrisley's podcast, where he addresses Katie claiming that he talked bad about her son. He says, he didn't. And somehow we got on the topic of a family out of Florida, Bird and Melanie Billings. They adopted children with special needs, but they were killed. They had 16 children total. I think 13 was said to be adopted disabled children. And they were killed. The person that killed them was in a bad financial bind. He was an ex-employee, and they were trying to rob the family. Yes. Good evening, Political Woodstock. Good evening.
Some people.
If anybody's watching on replay, I think we're done talking about Todd Chrisley. And if you just want to hang around to listen to whatever else we're going to talk about, I'm not going to be on much longer because, that really explains all the gnats. Like sometimes we have some in here, but tonight it seemed like it was a lot. Anybody that wants to watch on repeat, we're done talking about Katie, I think, and the Todd Chrisley situation. But if you, we're just going to talk now about whatever, and I won't be on much longer. I got to go take Paris to the doctor in the morning in the city. I'll be back in the city tomorrow. Here it is.
Ashley was left to care for her 9 younger siblings. We checked in on her to see how she and her husband
I kind of have to
are coping today.
I have to kind of take it in and out because YouTube. So there they are.
On Oprah in 2009, our lives have changed drastically. We've added another child to our family. We had our son Jordan.
So that's Ashley and her husband, and then they had a child of their own. But yeah, you can go check them out on Oprah. I just put in Oprah, Ashley Markham, and Bird Billing, and you can kind of hear more about the story. But yeah, I think they were really good people. I mean, Flossie, she says he was a smart man. They literally adopted because they just wanted to do good. They adopted children with special needs to love them. And, there's one person sitting over there with one child with special needs, and it seems like they don't want to pay him no attention. It's just sad. Just sad. Thank you, Kristen K, for the super chat, for the super sticker. Thank you so much. Hey, Shug. Shug, did I see Charlie commenting on your post about something the other day? I thought I saw Charlie. Was that? That might not have been you. I have you, and I think I have one other person that are close, and that other person knows my stepdad. Thank you, Janie. 12 was adopted. Bud had 2 before he was married to Melanie, and Melanie also had 2 prior to marrying Bud. Okay. Yeah, those well, that was so this is their biological, well, this is Melanie's daughter, right? So probably so. That one got good reviews for the most part. For the most part, the Stream with Uncivil did really good, and a lot of people liked it. Now there was I read one comment where they was like, I like you and Nate because y'all are unbiased, but these 2 brides that you had on here that was bashing Katie, just stick with you and Nate because y'all are unbiased. It's not a good look when you bring them brides on and they're bashing Katie, and it's like, I didn't bash her. I'm just biased. Right, exactly. You're not going to keep millions of dollars in your house. So Ashley, which is Melanie's daughter, lives in the home with her husband, Blue, and they take care of the kids. Which I have to say is probably a lot. You know what I'm saying? Because 16 kids, and then they have their son, 17 kids. That's a lot. Well, is that how many it is, Flossie? Yeah, some criminals are really dumb. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and get off here. Thank you all for hopping on with me. Oh, Flossie, are you working tomorrow? I mean, are you working in the city? Because I got to go. I got to take Paris to Oshner's heart doctor. 10 something in the morning. If you want to meet for lunch. J. Marie said, I remember when that happened and the local news covering it. I don't live too far away from Pensacola. Yeah, we admit it. We're biased. I'm like, I'm biased. Believe that. I figured the person watching would hear Nate say, after what Katie did to y'all, obviously Katie's done stuff to us, so we're going to be biased. Bud was a very nice man. He loved those kids. I didn't interact with Melanie much. She stayed at home and took care of the kids. Thank you, Kristen. Y'all just got to talk to Elle at the right time. What? Nate used to be pro Katie. Yeah, he did. They were friends. Yep. He is a great husband. We bicker at times, but I'm pretty lucky. But anyways, thank you all for hopping on. We have almost 400 people on. A while ago it was 400. I don't know how many likes we got, but you guys on the way out, give this video a huge thumbs up. I'm working on editing my Secrets of Playboy, working really hard on that. It's a 40-minute video, so it's going to take some time. But hopefully tomorrow when I'm we're waiting to see the doctor and everything, hopefully we'll get that done. Yeah, the picture of the woman with the child on the swing is Ashley, and that's her biological son. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. And yeah, just keep an eye out for any upcoming videos because I will have that episode 2 Secrets of Playboy recap uploaded within the next few days. Keep Paris in your prayers, you guys, because tomorrow we're going to go find out if there's an issue going on with her heart. First time I've caught a live, caught you on Uncivil. It was great. Hope you do more collabs when he discusses KJ cases. It helps him understand. Thank you, Hollister. I'm glad you came over to check me out afterwards. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. And because I had was planning on going, and then I wasn't. When I came on, I was kind of scatterbrained, like Sean with the metal in his eye, me with my burnt hand and a bowl of ice. When he was like, "So, Elle Bee and Charlotte, do y'all have any questions?" I'm like, "Take it away, Charlotte," because I can't think straight. So I was like, "Yeah, go, Charlotte." But normally, I would. I have a lot of questions for when it comes, speaking to a lawyer about Katie's crap. You know what I'm saying? But I just couldn't even think straight. But yeah, I will call you Flossie. But I do like Uncivil. I like Emily. I like Uncivil. I like Nate. They're all cool people. But anyways, I will see you guys in the next one. Let's see. I probably won't be able to do a live stream tomorrow because it's Friday and the kids will obviously weekend. But maybe Monday. Maybe Monday. Bye, everyone.